It's only going to continue to go up from here. Hello beautiful people, it's Yvette Corinne and welcome back to my channel. Today, if you read the title, we are going to be talking about adulting, what I've learned about adulting in my 30s, what I wish I knew in my 20s, and we're going to talk about health insurance, retirement accounts, financial advisors, your credit score, therapy, all the things, and I'm just going to give y'all the tea. So let's just get right into it. If you're not familiar with me or know anything about me, I am a full-time content creator. I work with brands to make my income. I also have a hair company. I co-founded a hair company with my best friend called Hair for the Girls, and I do not pay myself from that company yet, so I solely get my income from working with brands, affiliate links, and posting on Instagram. So that's all social media, so not just Instagram, but that's pretty much it. That is how I make my income. I've been doing this since 2015, 2016, and here we are. I've also never had a full-time job. I've always worked part-time, even when I was doing social media, and then I finally quit. Well, my job actually closed down in 2019 in the summertime, so July 2019, when I basically was forced to go full-time as a content creator. Luckily, because my store that I was working for closed down from July until December for 6 months, I was actually receiving unemployment for 6 months, which helped me being full-time, like that little transition to be full-time. I was actually getting unemployment. And then 2020 happened. Y'all know about that. So I just want to give a little background if you don't know anything about me and you stumbled upon this video. 2020 was the best year for me. Prior to that, I was kind of, just getting by. I do live in Los Angeles, so whatever numbers I say might sound like what you can afford to live off that. In Los Angeles, it's a little different, but I was just getting by between like a $40,000 and $50,000 range. And that's when I realized I can do this full time. This was 2018, 2019, and then in 2020 was my first year hitting the six-figure mark. So luckily, last year was another amazing year for me. I doubled what I made from 2020. So that was awesome for me. And now I'm like, okay, it's only going to continue to go up from here based on how hard I work. So now we have the money that we did not have all in our 20s. What do I do with it? Like, what do I do with it? So I've already started this year super hot. I've talked to a financial advisor. So far, she's helping me out. She's setting me up. She's getting me right. And I wanted to share some things that I have learned along the way. Getting health insurance. Prior to 2020, I had health insurance during one of my part-time jobs because I was working so many hours. I qualified as a full-time worker and they offered it to me and I took it. It wasn't the best health insurance. And then I actually got off of that health insurance and then I got on a partial of my boyfriend's insurance and I was paying him monthly because it was coming out of his full-time check, and then he stopped working where he was and I didn't have insurance. So I went like 2 years without health insurance, and I am super blessed to say that nothing has happened to me and I haven't had any accidents and I haven't needed it. However, I am 32 as I'm making this video, and I don't want to go into my 30s truly without health insurance. I do think it's important because our bodies are always changing and doing all the things, and I want to be able to feel the comfort of knowing if something were to happen to me, I can go to a doctor and I have to spend $5,000. So I finally got health insurance, and the way that you can do that when you're not working a full-time job and you're not getting health insurance through your employer is anywhere you live, any state in the United States, you can get health insurance without being employed. Simple as Googling how to get health insurance without an employer. It's so easy. They'll let you know like what is the overall company that does health insurance for your state. You can go through all the plans. You can compare a couple of plans at a time to see what works for how often you visit the doctor. If you are somebody who does have a chronic disease or anything that's happening and you go to the doctor regularly, I have a friend who has lupus and she would not be able to survive life without having health insurance. So I understand that there's some people who just I don't know what it is to not have health insurance, but if you're someone who just goes to your yearly checkups, you just like to do pop in every blue moon to make sure your health and your body's good and get that checkup, find the best provider for you. And it's easy to find. You don't have to be working a full-time job. You can find it. I went through Covered California. I actually just signed up with an Oscar plan, if you're familiar with health insurance, and it was a little bit more than Kaiser. If you're from California, all these names I'm saying make sense to you, but it also had better deductibles and things like that. So I went with that one, and for the peace of mind, I felt good. I felt good. But that was something that I didn't know how to do. I didn't know if it was possible, and I always hear people say, like, what do you do? Obviously there's Medicaid, Obamacare, that was a thing that was put out for people who did not have the means to get health insurance. So there's so many ways you can get it, and make sure you search and really look and exhaust all your resources before just saying, like, I can't have health insurance. I need to work a full-time job, or I need to be employed to do that. You can be self-employed and have health insurance. Okay, so my financial advisor, I want to talk about her because prior to last year, when I just started really making good money, I was like, okay, I'm seeing the fruit of my 6 figures, and now I'm making more, and I don't know what to do with the money. I was just saving, and I'm very, very, very happy to have the savings that I do. But I don't know what to do. So I found a financial advisor on Instagram. I just love Instagram for stuff like that, but I did find a financial advisor on Instagram, and we had our first discovery call, and I didn't know like what to expect. I didn't know if she was going to charge me monthly. I didn't know how we were going to be able to work things out. I didn't know anything. And she already has made me feel so at peace. And I will leave all her information in the description box if anybody who lives in, I think she can work with any state, but she has a few states that she works with on regular. But I will leave her information in the description box. She's great. A woman of color, which was a preference for me. So she does not work on like a monthly retainer, but she does get like a commission if she helps you set up something. And she just really wants to help. So I really love her. I loved her energy. We sat down, we did a budget, a realistic budget, and she did not judge me about my spending or anything. And then I told her what my expectations were. She told me what I need to do to get there, and it was very good to see. And this was like, how much do I need to put away for retirement to retire by a certain year? How much do I need to get the house savings that I want? Like everything, she had it broken down, and it was great. Also, she set me up with my next topic, which is life insurance. Y'all, I did not know anything about life insurance. Again, if you don't know me, my dad passed away a couple of years ago, and my world was rocked. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and smile and act like it did not faze me. It did in 2017, and that was when I first kind of found out about life insurance. I didn't know how it worked. I never had a full-time job. Nobody ever sat down and talked to me about a benefit package, so I didn't even know anything about it. And obviously it would have been very helpful if he had a good life insurance plan. He had one. It wasn't the best, but I do know what my dad was working with and everything. And yeah, you know, it was a lot. So it's super, 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 super helpful if you plan on having a family or anything. If you were to pass away, you want to help your kids with either maybe the funeral process or just going through the grieving process, just so many different things. And I never thought about it. And as being a woman of color or a black person, I was like, I don't know why I never thought about this. When I was talking to my financial advisor, she was telling me a lot of white people are ahead of us because they have life insurance and they pass down millions of dollars to their kids when they pass away. And it's just like the gift that keeps on giving. And I would have never experienced that or known about that. So I don't want to be in that scenario. If anything were to happen to me in a short amount of time, or when I finally do have kids and something were to happen to me, I want to have it all set up and all planned out. Whenever she's explaining that to me, the life insurance part did wake my eyes up, and I opened up a life insurance fund. It wasn't expensive. I think for $50 a month, I could have done the $250,000 life insurance. She also showed me that it's better if you start younger. If I was 10 years older, that $50 would be $100. You can open up $1 million life insurance plan on your life at a very inexpensive cost. I just wish somebody had done that for me, so I want to do that for the next person. Okay, credit score. I know everybody talks about credit score, and I opened up a credit card when I was in college, not knowing any better, and you know how that goes. And I wish I was more financially aware in college, and I would already have been like really on it, but I wasn't. And when it was time for me to get a car, I got a decent deal, but I was able to get a car, and I was like, wow. And the guy was like, yeah, you have pretty decent credit. And I was like, yeah, that's because I freaking had this credit card since I was like 10. Long credit history is good. So if you are a responsible adult, I think obviously credit cards are great. They help you build your credit, and they're just good emergency cards as well. So if you build your credit, you can get credit limits all the way up to like $30,000. I don't have one, but even my like $5,000 credit limit is great for me. If anything were to ever happen and I need $5,000 and I don't have it, I got a credit card sitting at home waiting for me. So like stuff like that is really good. And every time I pay on time, I have everything on automatic, but every time I pay on time, I feel good. My credit score is, going up, all the good things. So credit is so important. Also, trying to get a house. They'll base the deposit on your credit. So if your credit's not good, they might do 3 times the rent for your deposit. Like just crazy stuff. So having a good credit score will take you far. It will take you far. Everything else that I'm able to automatically put on a credit card, I do, just to let my credit cards show that I'm using it on a regular and then I'm paying it off every month. So that is kind of what I've done in the past couple of years, and it's helped me tremendously. So if you're trying to build your credit, that's one thing you can do. And obviously keep it under 30%. It helps to show that you have a lot of available credit and you're not using too much credit. So the credit life has definitely helped me. Let's talk about therapy. Therapy is very, very important. I was in therapy in college because my parents got a divorce. Well, I feel like this is a therapy session right now. Lord, I'm telling you all my business. My parents got a divorce when I was in college, and I did seek therapy on my own. And I felt crazy at the time. So I'm like, why am I going to therapy? But it was so good for me. I went to my college therapy. She was free because we paid part of it through our tuition, and it was just great. I really, really, really appreciate it. I'm so glad I did it because it opened my eyes to how I view therapy. So I think it's very important, and I think it's a big part of adulting. So if you get a really good insurance, your insurance should cover therapy. You can pay a little bit out of pocket depending on all your like deductibles and co-pays and things like that, but that is a part of your health insurance. And if not, I've worked with BetterHelp, and this is not a sponsored BetterHelp video, but I have worked with them and I do like their service because I've used it before. BetterHelp is a good online therapy platform. So if you're interested, I'll leave some information below. But yes, therapy is a part of adulting because we're all going through it, and your friends are not your therapist and your family is not your therapist, okay? Talk to somebody. Faith. So I did a Q&A on my Instagram, and somebody asked me to talk about faith while an adult. And I thought that was a really good topic because for me, my faith is very important. Moving to LA, moving alone, I feel like my faith was tested. I never stopped going to church. I believe in church. And you have to battle. You have to battle internally, like, what are you making a priority? And there was a point in time when I wasn't making my faith a priority. And I realized a lot of the life and a lot of the stuff that I went through in my 20s just to get to where I am, I wouldn't have done without God on my side. So I'm always like, He's always going to be priority, whatever that means or however that looks for you. Me and my boyfriend actually do daily devotions every morning, and we pray together, and that's just something that I want to always do. And I want to make sure when I have a family that we do, and we like instill how important it is to start your day with prayer and just make sure you're giving everything to God first. Whenever you have like God on your side, and if you're not religious, this part is not for you, but if you are and you know the power of God, and when you're stressed out and when you're going through so many different things and trying to balance this and trying to balance your relationships and your friendships and your work and your environment and your social life and your mental health and your physical health, like everything, you can't do it alone. So I know that whenever I start putting God first again, everything just started working out and working in my favor, and I'm just like, this is why I give it all to God. So I know I went on a tangent about that, but she asked me about that, and I do think that's an important thing to talk about when you're talking about being an adult. So investing, you already know, everybody's talking about the stock market, everybody's talking about investments, everybody's talking about all the things. And honestly, I didn't know anything. I mean, I knew about it all growing up, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. I just thought it was like a super rich people thing. And now I'm like, oh, you can do as small as $100 a month into index funds or a stock portfolio, all types of different things. And 2022, there's so many different platforms, apps, and things that will help you figure all that out and help you divide that up and do all the things for you. Like the way it's done now, it's just totally different. So, do some research. There's a few people that I love online. The Dream Green Show. I will put his information in my description box, but he talks about stocks and investments, but he explains everything so well. He's taught me so much about like investments and stuff like that, stock. So definitely check him out. That's something that I wish I knew earlier, but now that I'm getting into it, it's never too late. It's never too late now. Retirement. So I also didn't know that you could set up a retirement fund and stuff like that when you are not employed. I just figured that out a couple years ago. Yeah, I feel like I didn't know anything. My financial advisor is helping me set up my retirement fund. I researched all of them before I started talking to her, and she told me the best one that fits my income bracket, my lifestyle, everything. Basically, you have to find out what works best for you, and she kind of explained it and broke it all down to me. So you can definitely start your retirement fund without an employer as well. You don't have to work with somebody personally. I saw some websites that let you set it up, and you can kind of do everything online if that's what you want to do. But if you want to get some more insight, it'd be great to reach out to somebody like a financial advisor. Last thing, and that's my favorite thing, budgeting. I used to not budget heavy. I've always been somebody who wrote everything down. I just recently downloaded the app Digit to help me kind of have separate accounts, because Digit lets you have separate accounts within the app. It's really cool. I currently am using Mint. That just kind of shows me how I spend my money. But budgeting is my favorite thing, and it will save your life. You can budget if your income is $30,000 a year. You can budget and still save. I think that is it for my adulting video. It's never too late to start learning how to take over your finances, and I hope this video was helpful for you. Everything that I said that I was going to put in the description box will be linked below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me. We'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!